Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Jack Tyrrell, and I'm here today to talk about my personal story with living with blindness and the advantages and disadvantages of an accessible website and the difference it can make on a person like myself. Before I start, I'd just like to thank Continence Australia for giving me the opportunity to speak here today, and congratulations with taking the next step with accessible websites and how much this means to people like myself around Australia and around the world with a print disability, so thank you. At the age of 20, 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with a genetic condition called Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy. It's a very rare condition with only 1 in 50,000 people being diagnosed. It was scary at the time because within days just before Christmas, I've gone from full sight to having pretty much no sight. It was a scary feeling, but what I'd like to do is get the crowd involved, and if you could put your hands together like this and put it into your centre of your face, centre of your eyes. So I've gone from, now take it away, I've gone from that, within a week later, put it back there, and that's what I'm at now. It was a scary feeling for me at the time because I was halfway through my university degree at Swinburne University. But myself, as quite a strong, independent individual, was not going to let this beat me. And even though it has presented a lot of challenges, I was ready to complete my university degree. So I've gone from reading normally to have to rely on screen readers and assistive technology to help me in everyday life. People understand, and I had no idea about blindness, as no one in my family had blindness and knew anything. It was a new step for myself, and assistive technology was the way of the future. So I don't use any magnification, and is used by screen readers called JAWS, which stands for Job Access with Speech, and iPhone, Apple products with accessibility features like VoiceOver to get me through live. I had 1.5 years to go with my university degree, and everything was to do with assistive technology. The way to access textbooks, the way to complete university, the way to do exams. But what was one of the biggest issues, and what's fantastic that Continence Australia have taken this on, is to make accessible online platforms. Because without this, we as people with a disability or a print disability aren't able to complete life and reach our goals that are intended. Only 5% of information available around the world is accessible for people with a print disability. When you think about that, how much information is lost to us? And it's great now that organisations like Continence Australia, National Australia Bank, the Coles are taking steps forward to improve this. I've just come off ATM testing from National Australia Bank, in which they're trying to make their ATM systems available for people with a print disability. This was a fantastic experience for myself, and I was able to provide such valuable feedback. I've also been involved with Coles online shopping, just to help them out in a lot of ways to make it easier for myself. But what are some of the issues? What do people understand when they say, what do you need to know, Jack? Well, you can go on a website, and I've got JAWS here and at my iPhone here to do some demonstrations of assistive technology, but the computer screen just won't read it out to you. It'll miss critical information. People understand, oh, how can't you do that? Or, you finish university, why can't you apply for jobs? Well, companies just don't have accessible websites for people like myself to apply for positions. But it's good now, people are now taking a huge step and putting us included, because we are still as smart as everyone else, and it's great to have online platforms that are accessible. To know that a website's accessible, the feeling, the satisfaction you get, you just return back to life. You actually feel sighted again for myself. And it's great to have the understanding that websites are now taking that step forward and using services like Vision Australia Digital Access and Media Access and other accessibility organisations to make the difference for us. It has been a bit of an interesting road the last 4 years, as you could imagine, but in that time I was able to complete my university degree and find employment quite easily at Vision Australia. So if you're out there and you're watching Carols by Candlelight this year, so make sure you do make a donation, because your donation will be well spent. We are quite a trustworthy charity. Obviously there's been a lot of media around other charities, so I thought I'd get that in there. So I've been there now for 15 months. I started off with the graduate program, and one of Vision Australia's key messages and what they're advocating in the future is accessible platforms for people with a print disability. I've now moved into the tour project coordinator role at Seeing Eye Dogs Australia. Our dogs cost $50,000 each, and we're always looking for new donors, so I will be coming around later and having a chat with a lot of you people. So it's been an interesting road, but with accessibility, as I mentioned before, you know, when it is accessible, you can do things properly, it's great. The worst thing for people like myself is actually asking people to do it for you because you're unable to do it and your assistive technologies aren't able to support you. So it's a great step forward for Continence Australia to make a website accessible, and I wish you all the best in the future. Thank you very much.